behind the best jokes and coolest satire in Fallout, the writer of Elder Scrolls. He has come out after 23 years and left Bethesda and basically said the studio is just gone inside. Apparently, they planned on making the Elder Scrolls 6 11 years ago. And
I don't believe it, because you know why? I mean, it's been like, 14, 15 years of Elder Scrolls Skyrim. And to be honest with you, the only time that they even announced Elder Scrolls 6 is when Microsoft purchased Bethesda through the acquisition. See, that's what you people don't understand. Oh, but they was playing it. Of course, they have these placeholders just in case if they want to come up with these games later. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Bethesda had any plans of pursuing that in the foreseeable future. See, that's what you people don't get. You know, I really do think that Starfield was their last game. I do think that if Microsoft did not acquire Bethesda, we wouldn't have seen a Doom to Dark Ages, because you got to look at it. All these games just started pumping out from them ever since Microsoft acquired them. They weren't doing this before, and you people know it. Stop lying to yourself.
Instead, they decided to waste time with stuff like Fallout 76 and Starfield. And I want to talk about this interview because a lot of people are really picking it apart and seeing this as such a sign about how bleak this industry is. With these crazy, crazy dev times, at this point, most of the AAA studios are putting out like one game a year at this point.
You people can't even make it, man. I'm sorry, bro. This is the gaming, and I've told you guys, games to win another W, man. As time goes on, you will see less and less games. My dad even told me that during the PlayStation 2 era, you know, and then the 360 came out, and my dad, he told me, he said, you do know that they're going to make less and less games every generation that goes on. And this is exactly what we're seeing. My dad was a gaming prophet before I was. And then I started realizing, like, oh, snap, my dad was right. You know, every generation you start seeing less IPs, less games. I mean, we do have indies. That is the saving grace of the gaming community. But I'm saying in regards to all these other studios that I remember that used to have their own offerings. You know, it's become extinct. It's like if you want a military shooter, it's just as simple as Battlefield, Call of Duty, and Rainbow Six Siege. That's it. That is your options. Anything else, well, there's nothing else for you to play. You know, you want basketball, the only game you can play is NBA 2K. You want football, well, college football came back, but the only thing you're really settling is for college football and Madden. Nothing else. So yes, we do have less games in general, and it's kind of sad.
Even when they do, it's like, oh, sorry, your game didn't sell 50 million copies.
I mean, you people really want to wait 20 years for an Elder Scrolls 6, man. You people ain't even going to make it. Matter of fact, there's a grandma still playing this game. They better give her a playtest demo. Because with the way these games coming out, you people ain't going to make it. That's what I'm saying. Who they making these games for, bro? You got to ask yourself, man, I'm going to be 60 years old playing Elder Scrolls 7. I remember back in my days in Morrowind, you know, in Oblivion, right? When Skyrim came out, that game took out everything. It was so popular, it went from multiple generations. It came from the Xbox 360, it was popular on the PS4 and Xbox One, and it even was popular on the PS5. And the PlayStation 6. Like, what? Yo, I can't believe this, man. This is what gaming has come down to, man. I remember new generation equated to new games. Now all it equates to is waiting 14, 15 years for dev cycles, remasters upon remasters. This generation sucks. And for all the people that defend, PS5, even the Xbox Series X is trash. Okay, Gears Reloaded, really? Halo, was it? Not even Master Chief Color, Halo Campaign Evolved. Remember when I've told you? Halo 2 Campaign Evolved. Halo 3 Campaign Evolved. Halo 4. They're going to milk you guys to a Elder Scrolls Oblivion. No pun intended. This is crazy. Who would have thought in the year 2026 that we'd be talking about this, man? We should have moved on past these old games. But you know why they stick to them? Because they're easy to work around. Because the code is already there. And all they got to do is raise the graphics, the frame rate, and there you go. And then charge a $40, $50 price tag, and you people are going to buy it like it's the newest thing in the world. This gaming industry is pathetic.
It's just it. And it sounds like Bethesda has just gotten lazy, so up their own ass, and just in general, it seems like they've forgotten what makes Bethesda games. And what's really weird, it's not even Xbox's fault for once. But
Xbox! Bro, because you know this is an industry problem. That's why I told you old heads, or should I say you dinosaurs, to stop putting so much effort into this generation, bro. You're not gonna get what you want, man. PlayStation 5 started off with a banger this year, and the game was Code Violet. You guys still having hope? I wouldn't even see a game that bad, even on the Xbox 360 or PS3. And you got Sony out here pumping out games like that. And the only reason why it didn't come to Steam, because they were like, oh, well, they can get some refunds off this, or Xbox. That's all. That's the only reason why they dropped it as a PlayStation 5 exclusive, so they know you ponies after buying the game cannot refund it. This is sad, bro. You got companies out here doing this. They can't even make a good game for once. And what's even more crazy, I mean, did y'all see that Resident Evil 9 gameplay? I mean, considering that you're a Resident Evil enthusiast, how come you ain't even talk about it? You talked about the remake of Code Veronica, which, like I said, I would personally prefer to see that. But still, you was out here putting Requiem on a pedestal, and you don't even want to talk about that game, because that game sucks, bro. Resident Leon Kennedy running around the police station looking like freaking Frank West from Dead Rising with all these animations. The game is stupid, bro. And you people know it, man. Only the girl character looks pretty good to play with. But come on, man. All they did was take Leon Kennedy and put him in some Chris Redfield gameplay. You know? I mean, it's despicable, bro. You know, Capcom is literally running out of ideas at this point. And the only way they can say, well, you know, we'll give them the Resident Evil 6 Leon Kennedy. And I'm happy they did, because all you Leon Kennedy fanboys, you can't stand that version of him. So I'm happy that Capcom threw that version instead for y'all. It's disgraceful, bro. You know what I'm saying? Also, they can keep milking money off their fans.
And if you could, please give this video a like and subscribe. About a video game universe than maybe any other writer on the planet. And so because of it, apparently he was told specifically by Todd Howard for over a decade, you are going to be the director of Elder Scrolls 6. And it turned out Todd just lied. So this is it. Elder Scrolls 6 was supposed to be their next game after Fallout 4. You know, I was thinking about this yesterday, actually. Fallout 4 came out, 16 years ago? No, why am I saying that? It came out in 2015, so that came out 11 years ago. So
11 years ago, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you know what's crazy? Fallout 4 came out early during that generation, 2015, which means that the PS4 was only out for a year and some change before that game came out. That was a big game to come out early on. Look at how long y'all waited for games. You're like, damn, games, you're right. We went from waiting 1 year for Fallout 4 for a sequel to now waiting an eternity, to waiting 10, 15 years, 20 years for an Elder Scrolls. This is ridiculous, bro. And for you people to say, oh, gaming is better, and you think that indie games are going to save the scene, well, let me tell you this, bro. This is why nobody cares no more. This is why people keep playing Fortnite, because now I see why. What is there to be excited? I'm not even excited anymore. Oh, but PlayStation, they get Halo Campaign Evolved with quad play. I played the game 25 years ago. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying I'm disappointed that PlayStation gets the game. But come on, people. Come on. One Halo game, no online, cross-play with the campaign. You got to be kidding me, man. That is lazy, bro. This is an industry problem. And like I told you, and I'm happy you didn't say it was Xbox is dead, because we knew he probably was going to do that, because he got a lot of flack from his last video. So he's like, oh, let me play it safe with this one. It's an industry problem. Oh, I guess he didn't want to grift after that. After y'all was calling him out in the last one. Y'all were calling him out, man. If it wasn't for y'all calling him out in his own video, you know damn well it would have been Xbox is dead. You guys know it would have. But considering that he got a lot of flack for that, he's like, nah, I'm not doing that.
11 years ago, he said, yeah, that's going to be our next big project. Todd Howard promised him lead design role of Elder Scrolls 6, only to find out 11 years later they went with someone else. So this confirms two things at once. It does confirm the fact that Elder Scrolls 6 is their next project, for whatever size, shape, or that finally ends up becoming. But to me, it is kind of just a signal about the fact that
I'm just disappointed how these companies show games and they don't even drop out the generation that these games come out. We already know Elder Scrolls 6 ain't dropping on the series, bro. Let's keep it a buck. It ain't dropping on no Series X, man. That's a I get tired of this, bro. I get tired of looking at trailers and teasers, and all you're gonna do is show the game for the next platform. If Sony was very known for doing this. Last Guardian, y'all remember? PS3 game, and they ended up pushing it to the PS4. Metroid Prime 4 still did honor what it was, right? It came out on Switch 1 as well as Switch 2. I guess you could say, but a lot of people would have already waited for the Switch 2 if they knew that's what Nintendo was going to do. But I don't know, man. I'm not excited for this, man. You know, we went from that generation of Bethesda, from the 360, Fallout 3, New Vegas. You know, we had Dishonored. These were new IPs. New IPs, bro. Okay? To practically waiting 15, 16 years for potentially an Elder Scrolls 6. This is ridiculous, bro. I'm sorry, man. And you guys want to keep putting this gaming industry on a pedestal. And I'm here to tell you, dinosaurs, man. You know, like I said, get your retro gaming fossils all you need. You better start digging through that sand for them retro games, looking for them dinosaur bones like fossils, because this ain't the way we doing it, man. This is garbage. All right? And this is even bad. Microsoft, to me, they're just as bad as Sony. Damn, what? They're just as bad. The only reason why they're better because they're at least pumping out a decent amount of games. But let's keep it 100, man. Halo Campaign Evolved does nothing for me for playing on Xbox. Gears Reloaded did nothing to me. I mean, yeah, I destroyed a few ponies. I mean, that was fun, obviously, but I got tired of it. But I'm just saying that those games do nothing to me. I hope people understand. And maybe for some of y'all it does, but for me, it does nothing. And everybody knows I'm a Gears of War fan. So for me to tell you that, it's kind of disappointing, because a game like Gears Reloaded should have came out a long time ago. Okay, actually, to be honest, it shouldn't have came out at all. We already know why the game existed. It was to put it for the PlayStation gamers, and Microsoft said, you know what? We're going to recycle everything. We're going to start over from the beginning, and we're going to start with the Xbox original, and we're going to pump games out for our audience while also pumping them out on PlayStation. That's it. That's all Microsoft is doing. And then putting the play anywhere strategy. And like I said, it's going to work for them. But to me, it does nothing for the diehard Xbox fan. It really doesn't. If those are the games that they're coming out with. You know what I'm saying? I do know Microsoft got the Fables, the E-Days. So nobody's trying to discredit Microsoft. At the end of the day, they still doing more than Sony. Sony ain't doing a goddamn thing when it comes to video games. They're not. I don't care where Microsoft put these games at. At least they pumping out something. PlayStation ain't pumping out Jack Daniels. And y'all know this, man.
I do feel like as much as Todd Howard gets praised, at least in the past, I do feel like he has sort of a pro-corporate about buying stuff and just instantly running into the ground. I mean,
I know. I mean, no different than Sony buying Bungie and running that company into the ground with Marathon. Oh, I forgot. This is an Xbox's dead video. My bad.
Call of Duty. Look at that. Jesus Christ. The sales are down by 60% instantly, right? But it also goes down to the fact that I do think that in a lot of ways, whenever studios get acquired, the out-facing PR is already so positive. It's instantly like, well, now we can just focus on the games. We don't have to worry about all those sales numbers. But it almost seems like Bethesda has this weird obsession with like trying to make the most perfect games of all time, and they end up putting out nothing in the process. Of course, after Fallout 4, we didn't do Elder Scrolls 6. On the planet thinks, wow, Starfield's got such good shipbuilding. It's so zen. I have one friend in real life, shout out to him if he sees this video. He has played hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of Starfield because he says it's so calming. He likes just flying around in a ship and like going against space pirates and stuff. But even then, I think he would even admit it's not a good Bethesda game. It doesn't have cool quests. It doesn't have cool, like, interesting, weird ideas or aliens and stuff. It's a boring, giant, empty sandbox. And they spent a decade purely on that big, empty sandbox. Is it even close to release? You know, maybe that's the craziest thing at all, right? This dude probably still did a ton of writing on Elder Scrolls 6, sort of setting up the world and the lore, being the lore master for decades and decades and decades.
I think this is an industry problem. You know what I'm saying? I think it will come out, of course. But I think the problem is you guys got to wait extremely long for games, man. You know what I mean? Imagine, and the console prices are going to go up. Games are going to go up. I mean, this is not the industry that we all hope for, man. You know, I mean, at this point, gaming is dead. It really is. For me, it is dead. I don't care how long it goes on, but the day that I start losing interest, which that's exactly what's happening, it's the day that gaming is dead for me. I don't care who decides to carry it on after I'm done playing or after I'm done playing my retros. Because at the end of the day, to me, because that gaming is supposed to mean something to you, okay? It's a hobby for a lot of us. And guess what? It's just a hobby that honestly I no longer enjoy like I used to. Like when I play my old games, I have a good old smile on my face. I look like the Doom guy, right? When he picks up the shotgun. Yeah. Right back at home. Okay? But then when I play these new games, I'm looking all bloody Doom guy. You know, all sad in the face, looking side to side, don't know what's going to happen next in the gaming industry. That's how Gamester looks when he plays these new games. Okay? It's very sad, man. It's like Doom guy with 1% health and he's just looking for a med pack. That's what gaming is. I'm just looking for my exclusive med pack. I can't get through the game. I got these demons coming after me. Oh, damn Doom guy, what happened to you? You know, they talk about why he had to block off the wall. He can't get through. He couldn't find his exclusive key to get through that red door. Now he's on the floor.
There's a good chance that when the Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, it's still maybe 5 years away. This stuff just takes too long in the oven. I almost feel like, look, you can say what you want about Skyrim. You can say that Skyrim has been re-released too many times. You can say Skyrim has been hyped too long. You can say that Skyrim's got a lot of quests that don't really need to be there, right?
It has.
But undeniably, it is a big, complete world that they made on a very short deadline. Think about the fact that Bethesda...
And it wasn't the only game they made on a short deadline either. They had several other games Bethesda was pumping out.
Xbox 360 did Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas... We had Elder Scrolls 4, and we had Skyrim.
Oh, he's doing it for me. Oh, I should have just waited to this part of the video, and I wouldn't have to say all the games that they did.
And all of them came out with DLC. All of them came out with complete features. All of them just came out back to back to back to back to back. And then once Skyrim came out, it almost felt like they just hit a wall. Like they just stopped making stuff for so dang long. I almost feel like that's part of the reason a lot of people really hate on Fallout 4. It's not that Fallout 4 is like the worst game ever. Or
it's
even
not
necessarily.
It just comes off more like Far Cry 4.
A bad Fallout. But after the heights of Skyrim and all the promise and potential and growth between those titles, you know, Fallout 4 kind of just seemed like a bit of a nothing game. And I feel like now...
A nothing game? Do you know how much that game sold? Fallout 4 is one of the best-selling games. What are you talking nothing burger? What? What the... Bro, do you know the sales for that game?
I almost think that in a lot of ways, I don't trust Bethesda to make a good Elder Scrolls 6 after how bad they bungled freaking Starfield. I mean, this is the Starfield studio, and they're still using the same engine.
I mean, Starfield, Todd Howard did say it's a different type of game. Like you said, your friend likes it because he likes to cruise around in his little spaceship. For certain people, like I said, some people like Fallout. Some people don't like Elder Scrolls. I'm personally more of a Fallout fan. I like Fallout more than I like I like both of them, of course. But I prefer Fallout. And people ask you what? But people would ask you what? Because I like the approaches of Fallout. I can't sit there and get mad at Fallout. Oh, why they ain't got no Vikings in this game? Why they got energy weapons? They need to go back to the good old days with the sword. It's a different type of game. You know, it's a different... Oh, no! That's not what I played. Fallout 3, you should be walking out with a damn sword and a helmet. Like the real man days. Well, sir, they got weapons. I mean, you do have melee weapons too, but they also have weapons that you could use from afar. No. We need bow and arrows. Sir, it's a different type of Bethesda game. Exactly. Starfield is the same. I played Starfield. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but like I said, it's for an acquired taste. That doesn't mean the game is bad. So that's the problem with you people. You guys, oh, the game is bad. How is it bad? It's just for a different type of thing. It's a more explorative game. I get the concept of what they were doing. I personally don't like that. I personally don't. But that doesn't mean somebody else won't. Okay? So when I use the Fallout and Elder Scrolls as an example, it's to show you that, yes, some people, I prefer the Fallout formula. Some people prefer the Elder Scrolls formula. To each their own. They're similar games because obviously made by the same company, but they all have their difference that make them stand out. That's why people like these games. But go ahead.
They still have a lot of the same team what do you really expect? It's insane to think about the influence and hype of the Elder Scrolls games leading up to Skyrim, a game that has 25,000 active players daily, and Bethesda were like, let's not make another one of these for 14 years. I gotta admit that this interview,
Fallout 76 is popular. A lot of people do play that game.
To me, feels very, very, very bleak, because I think it does signal that the problem inside of the game industry isn't just not enough budget. It's not enough.
Oh no, that most definitely it is.
I'm lying. So it's not enough just raw potential. It's not enough hype. It's not enough work.
Oh, there's most definitely not enough hype, because I don't care about a lot of these games that are coming out.
Of course. It is just the fact that, honestly, this bureaucratic version of art, committee via creation, it's something that I feel like is killing some of the best ideas. I think that's part of the reason I'm so excited for Judas, the new project.
Obviously, it's funny. I watched I don't want to hate this guy. I watched a documentary, right, about the guy, the Toasty guy, and how he was included in the game, and how Ed Boon's like, hey, man, just put that weird stuff you be saying in the game, right? And I want to use this as an example as to why gaming is not good anymore, And the guy, he was talking about the Toasty guy. And he's like, oh, we just threw it in there, put his face in the game, and look, voila, people loved it. That's why. Because gamers, there was just developers making games. They had fun with their own projects. You know what I'm saying? When they did the Sub-Zero Fatality, they had fun. And they're like, whoa, we ain't never seen nothing like that with the spine rip. Oh, no. It's the hype. You can tell that when the developers made their own games, they were hyping up their own game. They were hyping it. They probably was playing their own game. You know what I'm saying? They were actively involved to pump out the best game that they wanted. And that is something that's severely lacking in the gaming industry. Companies don't care. They're like, oh, let's just do a cookie cutter job of Fallout, but no passion. No passion. They're not thinking of passion when they're making it. They're thinking about money. And that's the problem. And I'm not saying they didn't either. They're like, yo, we gonna make the best game and this game's gonna pop. Street Fighter 2's the hardest. I'm Ed Boon. We making Mortal Kombat. Hey, Mr. Dad, put that Toasty in there. I mean, it sounds funny. You know what I'm saying? They all laughing in the studios. That's funny. Put it in there when he get the uppercut. They had fun when they were making their games. These companies ain't having fun making these games. That's why they talk about crunch. You feel me? Y'all like, damn, games. I see what you say. That's the problem. They're not having fun. When they made the games that we played, the developers were all laughing, having fun, talking about how we're going to have the next greatest game. Look at the fatality. Look at the spine rip. We ain't never seen nothing like that in the arcades. It was the passion. There's no passion no more. And even when companies made mistakes, you could tell that they had a very passionate vision as to what they were trying to make. We don't see that no more. You're like, damn, GameStop, I feel you. That is what it is. All right? You tell me, when you see these documentaries for these new games, they look boring. Marathon, we just copy off of what? It's an extraction shooter, Why you always sniffing your nose? It's all this the pony dust. Ever since we've been acquired by Sony, we've been on the pony dust. And Marathon is going to be the next greatest game since Destiny. Destiny was a great game. Hopefully you guys will like this game. It's definitely a lot better. It's made by the Halo. 2001 made Halo. I'm proud to say that. Boring. Why the hell would I want to play this boring game? Now compare that to the Mortal Kombat interview when they talking about, put that fatality. Exactly. There was hype. There was excitement when they make these games. You got this dude with his hands folded and his legs crossed, with his hand on his face, on his chin, telling you, let's talk about Code Violet. The game we put a lot of assets in her butt. Yes, that's where all the assets went. The gameplay is very, very non-existent. Matter of fact, we even have PC prompts, but it's a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Don't worry. We know your ponies love your exclusives, and we love them too because we know that you can't refund it when you buy the game. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video, man. Like I said, there's a severe lack of passion in the gaming industry. We all know it. You know it. Get your retro games you need because the gaming industry ain't what it seems. Exactly.